right, it looks like we're live. We're live right now. Okay, we are live. We are live. Okay, cool. Let's let everybody come in. Man, this was a crazy day. Another crazy day of randomized things that are happening. If you hear sounds in the background, that is, of course, the rabbit jumping around. She likes to jump around when I'm doing these live streams for whatever reason. So, let's see. I'm trying to get some things ready in the background. They don't let you drag and drop. I'm going to try to prepare for this in just a second, but I'm going to get to that in a second. The men's 100. Shout out to everybody that is here. Timothy the Inventor. She is Bree Wayne. Athletics Views TV. The Francois. How you guys doing this evening? This is going to be a little bit shorter than yesterday. I think today was a shorter day anyway. And then we get to a longer day tomorrow. So today I'm going to keep it shorter. But once again, I'm your host, Nick. And you are watching Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes' performances and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. And as always, be blessed. Stay rich. And let's work to make this the #1 track and field commentation channel, analysis of whatever that is. I don't do much in the form of direct analysis just because of the copyright strike. I think I'm going to start doing that either on Patreon or something. I'm not going to do Instagram. I just am not interested in doing those things. Right now, it isn't a system to link up a way for it to link that without compromising some of the things I like to do. So I'm just not interested in Instagram. If I get a co-host or something like that, and I'm working on somebody that may come in or may not. There's actually a few athletes, some former collegiate athletes in the area, some people that, 2 people that have made the Olympics, and one of them competing right now at the World Championships. So we're going to see if they would want to come on and maybe co-host or guest host. Who knows? But yeah, let's go through some of this. You guys see the screen? No, you don't. Okay, now you see the screen. All right, as always, I go through every event, and then I'm going to get to the other events later. The steeplechase heats, I'm going to quickly go through some of these because these were the qualification rounds for like the high jump and all of those. So because of those were the qualification, I'm not going to stick to that too long. But one thing I am going to cover, and I'm going to give a little bit more detail, are the finals. But for right now, let me go over some of these. If you're here right now, definitely smash that like button, press the share button. We're going to go to the summary of this so we can get all of the qualifiers right here. Obviously, Rojas made it through in the women's triple jump. So, very interesting with Rojas. She actually qualified with a near 7-meter long jump, but then they said she wasn't wearing the proper shoes. So I guess you need to have certain shoes. I guess it was outside of the limits. Maybe it was a triple jump spike. I don't know what shoes they were, but they were not legal shoes for the long jump, I guess. So she was probably wearing a triple jump spikes, thinking that they could qualify for the long jump. Whatever it is, hey, it is what it is. Hey, shout out to everybody here. Ajleed, Paulina, and then again, Timothy the Inventor. Somebody saying King Curly. All right. So Rojas got the automatic qualification on the first jump. Then we got Rumenchuk or Beck Rumenchuk for Ukraine. Jose Tima for Dominican Republic. Then we got Michaela Shanika Ricketts. She made it through on her first jump. Tia LaFond, I think she had to do 2. Really doesn't matter because she made it through. Then we got Orgy for USA. Smith for Jamaica. Tori Franklin, and y'all know the story about Tori Franklin for the USA. And then Mamona had to go through on the last jump. She barely made it through. So this ain't looking too good for her. And she's usually one of the top athletes, typically there to medal year after year for Portugal. So this is going to be very interesting coming into the final. Then we got Perez Hernandez for Cuba, and then Kimberly Williams for Jamaica. Then it's going to have 2 rounds where they have on the final, the top 8 they're going to take through to get 6 jumps, and just all 12 are going to be able to jump at least, 3 times. And then if you make the top 8, you get the next 3. So, oh yeah, y'all talking about Tangaloo getting beaten, and then some of the hundreds. Yeah. So I'm just going to go through these qualifications, like I said, real quick. And then when it comes to the final, I'll go into detail. So, Gerudo, Getachew, here are your qualifiers for the women's steeplechase. Some surprises here about who didn't make it and who was struggling. But Getachew, Marwa made it. Finot for France. Abebe for Ethiopia. Gega for... I cannot think of I see the nation's name and I can't pronounce it, so I'm gonna skip that. Then we got Waitman for USA, which she made it through. Emma Coburn, she looked like she was it's hard to see if she's struggling. I guess she didn't want to run harder than what she needed to. Her coach and her probably said, look, no matter what happens, this time is gonna make it through. So she made it through on a little cue. Same thing with Waitman. Chimutai made it chest pull. Marusa, Yavi, Fredericks, the Americans made it through on little Q. So this is very interesting that they were struggling to make it through in these semis and whatnot. Then we got Pratt for Great Britain and Krause for Germany, the slowest qualifier to make it through. It looks like they didn't allow the other athlete, which she got soaking wet and tripped over that steeple. It was a nasty crash. I had a screenshot of that earlier. Institute of Roy, I did not cover the 10K just yet. I'm about to get into that very shortly. Okay. Hopefully you guys are getting a smooth stream, because right now it keeps saying, I don't know what's going on. Because recently, I think they're trying to lag my channel out for whatever reason. I think they're trying to lag the channel out. I talk about black empowerment. It started happening after that. So, hey, it is what it is. They try to limit things. But that's not going to stop me from covering those things. But here we go. Let me see what I would cover. That's the women's high jump. What's this other tab I got here? Okay. Then we got the 110 hurdles. So right now, the high jump. We got Elena, Safina, Irina, Eleanor, Yaroslava, Daniela, Carmen. These are your qualifiers for the final. Netazeta, Nicola, Kimberly Williamson for Jamaica, Leah for Slovenia, and then the final qualifier is Lamara Diston. Now, I was a little bit surprised about Vashti Cunningham not making it, and I don't know. It's kind of like the theme with her a little bit. Sometimes. So we're gonna see what happened there. I did not listen to the interview afterward to see what was happening. Same thing with McCoy. I would have thought that maybe they could have made it, but it went through on count back right here. That's how come they didn't, because you see a lot of athletes right here, 190, but they didn't make it, and it went through on count back about how they did not qualify. And a coin flip, most likely, too. So let's get the summary of who made it in the 110 hurdles. We got Grant Holloway. He was looking smooth and everything like that. Hansel Parchment, they went 1-2 in their heat with each other. And it was just like, all right, smooth. Did just enough to do that and everything. Dang. Hey, look, Style by Almore. I'm going to get to your comment about saying, everyone's saying that Coleman returns, it will be a wrap from all of them. Well, y'all call him Kirby. All right. That's actually funny. Are you saying he looks like Kirby? Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not going to say the conversation we were saying with the Discord, because it could be misinterpreted. with different people, but y'all calling him Kirby. Rafael Ferreira. Rafael made it through. Trey Cunningham, he made it through, so that was good. Let me actually go through who didn't make it in the 110 hurdles. Let me go through who did not make it for the USA. The man can't catch a break, Daniel Roberts. He's made 3 teams, and every single time he makes it, something happens to like snatch him out. Like false start, crashing out or whatever. He crashed out spectacularly. And I got the screenshot for it. But OBS does not allow you to drag him in anywhere. Come on, Naruto. It ain't that bad. You said worst title defense in history. Nah, I don't know about that. The Frank Y, you just said you wonder if Getachew is DSD. Getachew doesn't look DSD. And the 3,000 steeplechase is also an event you can't compete in if you're DSD. You have to go up to the I think you have to go up to the 5,000 if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. But I'll double check that. You might have a good point. I don't know about that 156.6, but we'll see. Sometimes athletes run really fast times in different events. Like Haile Gebrselassie had the second fastest 1500 in history, and indoor at least, and never really went and tried to do that outdoor in the 1500 at all. He was in the race that broke the world record with Hisham El Garouj indoor in 1998 or something like that. And the guy was running 5Ks, 10Ks, and then he moved up to the marathon. So I don't know if I read too much into it. And then his open 400 was pretty fast too, and his 800 was decent. Hisham El Garouj could have been a professional 800 runner, but he never really did focus on that. So I don't know. So anyway, Daniel Roberts kind of got crashed out. We got Lopez, David King, Izumiya for Japan making it through to the next round. Orlando Bennett for Jamaica making it through. Ishikawa for Japan. Trakovic most likely made it through. Nicholas for Australia. Then we got Lagarde. Remember, he was the world U20 champion last year, and then he set. Wait a minute, no, that's Sasha Zoya actually. Lagarde made it through, and then Joseph for the Swiss, and then Sasha Zoya, the U20 champion last year, set that U20 record. That was actually pretty good. They said, yeah, you can't do 400 to the mile if you're DSD. So that could be a point. I don't know. Sometimes athletes put in monstrously fast times. Also, wait a minute. Oh yeah, the Frank Y. Let me just point this out. I'll get into that in a second when I get to that. I'll point that out in a second. So then we got Devin Allen, of course, and he didn't look the best. He didn't look the best at all. Hold on, guys. Let me handle something real quick. Something's popping up in the background. Give me 10 seconds. All right, I am back after that interruption. So yeah, I'm gonna have to have some theme music that plays in the background if I ever have some interruptions. Then we got Shane Brathwaite Rodriguez for Brazil, Andrew Pazzi for Great Britain, Amin for Algeria, Zeller for Great Britain, Damien for Poland, Martinez for Spain, Rashid Broadbell for Jamaica, Just for France, USA's Trey Cunningham, Rafael Pereira for Brazil, Parchment, and then Holloway. So anyway, here we go. Y'all talking about y'all dragging somebody? Wait. Are y'all dragging me? Oh, you said you're not trying to be disrespectful. Hey, look, I'll get into that in a second. So here we go with the hammer throw. Now I gotta point this out. I'm gonna bring up his World Athletics page just because this is what we're on right now. FIDEC. First of all, let me go to third place. Norway Henriksen got third. Then we got Novicki for Poland got second, which is the Olympic champion right now. And then we got FIDEC. FIDEC came in and put out. You know this man is now a 5-time, it says 4-time, but they haven't updated it. 5-time world champion. And the dude has won it since 2013. 2013. Gold, 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 and now gold again. And then he got third at the Olympics. Now, he doesn't have Olympic placing marks in the top 3 at the other Olympics in between, which is actually pretty interesting for Rio. And then he came by at Tokyo and did that. But still pretty good. This guy is a dominant force when it comes to the World Championships. And if you really think about it, that happens more often than the Olympics anyway. So I just got to point that out. Freaking a champion right there. That is called a champion. 81.98 meters for the hammer throw, world leading mark. Okay, let me get off of that. Okay, now since we're on distance, I'm gonna look at what you just said, but you just said that Timothy the Inventor, you said that she ran 156.6 last season. If that was literally last year, anytime after the 2019 in Doha and after, leading up to that, if you don't have your estrogen levels in check, aka your testosterone lowered, then you're not able to compete. So if Getachew is a quote DSD athlete, then that means she should be able to compete in the 800, because if she competed in the 800 anytime after 2019, your levels actually have to be in check already. Unless you're a late discovery for a DSD, and Getachew has a long history of that. So I just wanted to point that out. Now I could be wrong in this. I'm gonna look it up, but yeah, they said, but the Olympics is all that matters. Mina Vamp, I think they said he would trade all 5 gold world championships for 1 Olympic gold medal. Yeah, I don't know about that, because when it comes down to, at least for me, the way I'm looking at this is I would look at this is what World Athletics is trying to build up to, that we have a sport that lasts outside of the Olympics. That's the thing I would personally do. If I start, which I kind of plan on doing it, it's a lot of money. And if I don't see any money coming in, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not doing nothing for some charity stuff, because these things are going to cost millions of dollars. So if I don't see things on little small tests that I'm doing now that could bring in some money, that I have enough money that I could pay out athletes, I'm not going to do charity, things like that, then I just won't do it. But a track league, if you were to do one like a diamond league or something, you want that to sustain itself, because the Olympics is its own thing. The Olympics doesn't pay the athletes anything. You get $70,000 for winning the race here. Although more people, quote unquote, watch the Olympics, they kind of are, that's a whole bunch of other events mixed in together with that. So you don't, it's because they don't reveal the numbers to the public, at least. We don't know how many of them, other than Usain Bolt having 1 billion viewers, the highest viewed Olympic event, but in one time, in one sitting. Technically, the soccer portion gets 3 million over the course of all of the matches, but one sitting together, it broke records. So I am with World Athletics. I'm with anybody that's trying to make track and field its own thing and exist by itself. I personally do not care about the Olympics. Me personally, I could throw them a big fat middle finger with them doing billions of dollars, destroying towns, and then paying the athletes nothing. I can't get down with that. So that's me personally. They They saying Bolt had 24 hours before his record fall. Delusions. Mind your own. Shout out to you. You said, hey, Head and Shoulders. Daryl Richardson, shout out to you. That's one of our YouTube members here. So let me cover the women's 10,000. Now that I got that out of the way, let me cover the women's 10,000 and speed this up a little bit. Where do I have the women's 10,000? Here we go. So that's the women's 10,000 meters. Got a screenshot like I did last year. It's a lot harder for me to drag it over, but here you go. So as you can see, Letesenbet Gide, that was a phenomenal race. That was a phenomenal race. Somebody said, who takes FlowTac seriously? Yeah, I'm surprised. FlowTac is mainstream media to me. So they do all of that stuff there. I don't know. They had a, let me do this real quick. They had a stream, or they were blaming USATF for Allison Felix not getting a bronze or something, or a gold. And then they blamed Simon. Where it's actually the other way around. Simon is the youngster that they knew was not going to have like the speed unless something just, and things could happen. She could have just ran above herself, but she kind of performed to what was expected. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't she run faster than some other athletes in there? So they were blaming USATF, and I'm just like, nah, the other individual athletes are not going to sacrifice their own stats for that. But they got a whole video that they posted up. I was about to troll them or whatever. Well, not troll them, because it was going to be real. That's not a troll. I was going to say something, and then I said, nah, it's not even really important. But I'm saying it here because that was just like a shock jock. Nobody takes that stuff seriously. It doesn't even have any real substance to it. Not at all. Just sounds like somebody whining. They said FlowTrack are the feds. All right, man. Okay, here we go. Let me get on to this. After that, you got me back in it. So Letesenbet Gide is the world champion. I am personally happy for the people that were watching this. When she came in young, I think she was like 18 or 19 or whatever, came on the scene, and then she was there. She had absolutely no kick right here. If this was Safan Hassan more not really dealing with some strains and injuries and stuff like that, I am confident that she would have got kicked down. But the fact that she was able to do a 60 point on the last lap, which is very hard for women to do at the end of a 10,000 meter race, it was very, very slow. The Japanese athlete winded up negative splitting, which is running the second 5K faster than the first one. And she went out very consistent. It was like 73 something. And then she started slowly speeding up. And then as soon as the 5K happened, she just said, all right, Great Britain, take the lead. Great Britain took the lead and immediately slowed down 74-75. And then it became a tactical race. Letesenbet Gide was talking to her teammate, Taye. I think they were doing the Ethiopian team tactics that could happen and say, hey, look, you go there. She was pointing. She was like, yo, you go up there. You do this. You do that. And she was setting herself up. I thought she was going to get her behind kicked to keep it PG. No, get her ass kicked by Taye because she outkicked her in the 5,000. So, Timothy the Inventor. Safan can close faster than 61. She's done it before. And especially think about what has happened before. She's outkicked Helen Obiri at this same distance and everything like that before. It's just that she's not in the best shape. She's not sharp here. And she let them get a jump on her. She's normally right there with them. Once she let them get a jump, there was no way she was going to get them back. It's kind of like Mo Farah. Every time other people that were literally faster than him were there, he got a jump on them. Bernard Lagat talked about that with Hisham El Garouj. He was like, he gets a jump at me right around the 800. Then he gets a gap of a few meters. Then Lagat will pull El Garouj back in that last 100. But then even at the Athens Olympics, he pulled him back, but he let him get the gap. He should have just tried to sacrifice the middle of his race and to make El Garouj run out. That's kind of like the tactics from looking at how you would coach that / run these events. Letesenbet Gide, I thought she was going to get out kicked because she's not been a particularly fast finisher at the end of a race. And I'm just like, move here, move here, move here. I'm just, last 3,000. Okay, move. You should have moved before the 5,000. That's what I was thinking. Okay, you got 3 laps to go. You got 600 meters to go. And I'm like, yeah, she might not have this. But turns out she was in control the entire time. She was in control the entire time. Then Helen O'Beary, which is the athlete on the right, she claimed last year that she was going into retirement from track to move up to the marathon. But then she said, nah, I'm coming back. She won. She went to win World Cross Country. Or maybe that was Gide. I might be mixing both of them up. But Helen O'Beary has won all of the titles from World Cross Country, now the 10K, indoor, all the titles that you can win as a distance athlete now. As far as medals, not one, but medals that she's gotten. But Helen O'Beary, she came down. This is the first time she got a medal in this. She was crying about the 10K. In Kenya, it must be a big thing to win the 10,000 over the 5,000 and to get a medal in that too. So she thought she was going to win at the Olympics. And then Sifan Hassan last year, of course, did what she did. She was a defending champion in the 5K, so we're going to see her as the defending world champion. Then we got Kip Kimboy, which I'm not as familiar with her, but she got bronze. So let me move on to the next event. They said Safan usually kicks at 400. Yeah. And they said the 10,000 meter women final was epic. Yeah, I got excited watching it. I just want to say Gide's kick here was amazing. Let me see. They said, let me see this. Let me read the comments here before I move on completely, because this was a final. That's why I'm spending more time on it. Gide wasn't going to be denied today, Lisa Blackman said. Exactly. They said, I thought Gide left it too late, but her kick was phenomenal. Yeah, whatever Ethiopia's doing with their athletes now, I'm like, about time they can turn a bad finisher into a fast one. I don't know if they got the same coach. Well, no, it's not. It's not, I think, Wilda Meskel, or whatever his name is, that was Haile Gebrselassie and Kennedy Bekele's coach. But they already had kicks by themselves, in my opinion. And then he just kind of found the talent. And then Haile's found Bekele. I think the Ethiopian team manager and coach that I've been seeing here, he's been getting them at the youth level. And he's been finding them and developing a kick. That is very, very difficult to have develop. So, especially if you don't have one naturally. So, the fact that she got it, congratulations to her. Let's move on. Oh, wait a minute. Nope. 400 hurdles. Let me go through the qualifiers. Then we're going to go over to here. The women's 100. Let's go over to that right after the hurdles. We're going to go through this one quicker. I know we got more people here for the hundreds, so I'm about to get into that real quick. But I'm going to go over who qualified. We got Rosser, Maggie, Benjamin. He's looking smooth, actually. Won his heat. Barr, Drummond, Bassett. Vorholm looks like he was a little bit relieved, but he don't even look like he missing a step. This is probably slower than he would have gone if he didn't get injured, but he just kind of taking a step at a time, like him and his coach said. Chalmers, Dos Santos looking very, very, very in control. Like I said, if Vorholm ain't there, I think it's going to be a close one between Dos Santos and Benjamin, but I could be wrong. Dos Santos is looking like he's got a lot of potential to get this win out here. They said Dorado Tulu is president of athletics in Ethiopia. Oh, nice. So that's very, very good. I don't know who their particular coach, because the president, whoever she's just making decisions on other general things. But Dorado Tulu is a fantastic person to have there. Her got Haile Gebrselassie. I don't know about the Dynasty twins and all of them, and Dafar. Dafar could be a good one too. But yeah. Then we got Maud of Jamaica, Rowe of Jamaica. So we got 2 Jamaicans in there. We got all of the Americans except for one, I think, that made it through. Then we got Lalu, Hippio, Angela, Benstrom, Nathaniel for Nigeria. So for the Nigerian contingency that we got here, got a couple of y'all subscribers here. Smith, Watchman, Capello. I'm surprised he didn't get an automatic qualifier. McMaster, I thought he didn't qualify, but he was. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of the wrong heat. McMaster, not surprised that he qualified. Kurakawa, Jahil Hyde. So you got 3 Jamaicans through, 3 Americans, and then Zazani or Zazini for South Africa, and then Nadikila. I'm surprised they put the gap there. Nadikila for Kenya winded up qualifying. So it must have been some technical thing that allowed him to qualify because he's separated from everybody else. They said Ride looked good, Vorholm looked smooth, Bassett looked good, and Dos Santos was solid too, Lisa Blackman said. They said, Afro Buddy, hop off Jamaica Fender. You seem frustrated for our athletes. Dorothy G, y'all going in right there. Okay, here we go. So let me take every heat by itself. So Sharika Jackson, she was looking very, very, very serious. After she won her heat, they said, I know it's the first heat, but they got to make it look a bit competitive. Is it just me, or these 400 times hurdle times kind of slow for qualifiers? No, Timothy the inventor. Yeah, everybody smashed the like button like he said. We got 180 plus people out here. Let's smash the likes up. We get more and more people. Now that I'm talking about the sprint events, it's just like, I swear, it's either the algorithm or y'all really just do be doing it. But smash the like button so that we can get there. It costs nothing. Anybody that's supporting the channel, I appreciate it. Y'all normally do, especially Institute of Roy. I usually see it the next morning. For some reason, a notification doesn't pop up immediately. But yeah, thank you guys that support the channel. Also with Cash App and PayPal, and then an occasional super chat that comes in. I appreciate it. Now, with this, Sharika Jackson was holding back, smiling at the end. Hey, did y'all know that it's Sharika Jackson's birthday today? And I knew that. I think did Gail Devers bring that up in there? But also she said it on her Facebook. So that's reason why I know. Otherwise, I really wouldn't have known. So I guess happy birthday to Sharika Jackson. She's qualified for the next round. So that's pretty good for her. Obviously, that's an obvious one that we would have expected. We would have thought that she wouldn't have. If she didn't qualify, that would have just been like, what are you smoking? What happened? False start? Whatever it is. So yeah. The Francois said, Sharika leaves me scared every time she runs. That front view of a lane with her purple hair blowing back is the coolest view of track athlete I've ever seen. Edward Momani said, but you corrected it to Shelly Ann. Yeah, I was about to say, Lane got like reddish brown hair, and then Shelly Ann got the purple one. Let me see if I actually got that picture here. I'm going to bring that up. But yeah, so Sharika Jackson in control of the race, doing what she needed to do. I think this is what people were expecting out of Fred Curley in that first round, instead of him going as fast as he did, which makes sense. I think he must have been thinking like, yo, I'm gonna be like athletes in the past. The only equivalent that I've seen somebody do this fast in the rounds and then come through and they still wind up running a pretty decently fast time is Flojo. If you go back, and they had 4 rounds back then. If you go back and watch the Olympics when Flojo was there, she winded up running fast in the first round, faster in the second when it set the Olympic record. Then she ran another pretty decent, wasn't as fast because it wasn't an Olympic record. And then they had the wind assisted time at the end, so that time didn't count. But yeah, I think that doing something like that was probably a bit of a surprise with some people with Curly. So they just ran what they needed to do. Sharika Jackson, 11.02 qualifying. Zoe Haas for New Zealand, she winded up setting a record. So she had to run a PR, a personal record, or a personal best, PB, depending on where you're saying. In US, we usually say PR, or certain parts of the US. So yeah, Zoe Haas for New Zealand, congratulations to you. You got an Oceania record, not only national record, personal best, and you got an Oceania record. So congratulations to you. Every time people get localized records of personal best, I always like to point that out. I think I got a screenshot somewhere here of Shelly Ann with some really short hair, or where she's looking real short, even standing up. And here's her hair color right here. Here it is, right here on the screen. This is Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. Let me go over to the next heat too, because I think that's the one that she was in. So, Styled by Amor said 4 rounds. Shaking my head. Glad they stopped that. Yeah, they had 4 rounds of virtually every event. I think it's dumb that they have 3 rounds of the 1500 right now. Matter of fact, I think that's pointless. They should just have 2, and then. But it's probably the amount of athletes on the track, because once you get too many at once, then some people start bunching up and then they run over each other. They used to have 2 rounds for the 10K. I'm glad it's just a straight final, but sometimes I think it's because of the amount of people that qualify. But I'd rather take a straight final than 2 rounds of the 10,000. And then 4 rounds. Yeah, Michael Johnson had to do 4 rounds until they shortened it. So yeah, it was very interesting back then. So when they ran fast times back then, just think about how many rounds they had to do until they changed the format. Let me see. Timothy Inventor, you said she looks like she's 4 feet 5. LMAO. I know, right? I was like, man, how she still looks short and she's standing on a chair? How does she still look short by towering over everybody, and yet she's standing on this chair? This is hilarious. They said why 3 1500 rounds is dumb. Yeah. They said she is 5 feet fast. Hey, she's mighty Mike. So here's Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. She put in a dominating performance, looked very relaxed. She's doing what she did last year at the Olympics before she tripped in the final. Hopefully, she doesn't trip this time. I want to see her be able to take it to the rest of the athletes and see what she really will do. Because people can speculate. We can speculate all we want and say, yeah, she still would have lost, or she might not have lost, whatever. Look, at the end of the day, we don't know because of that trip. When you're a starter and your start is messed up, that's your race. Yeah, she could finish now, but when most of her races are start, we need her to get her start right. She's not like Usain Bolt. Most of his race was later on. He was a fair starter. He was a good starter, actually, because Tyson Gay was a bad starter. But he also had a good tail end of his race and mid-race. Shelly Ann is basically front. So, Shelly Ann Fraser-Price, 1087. Daryl Nita. She was being goofy and very energetic. That was very good. I think it's good for the athletes to be trying to perform. I know it's real hard. You're trying to perform to be entertaining to everybody and be a fun personality out there while making it through to the next rounds when it's getting serious and everything, and not lose focus of your race. But that actually keeps the sport, keeps eyes on the sport. So Daryl Nita, season best, 1095. Then we got Gina Lukenkemper for Germany, 1109. Then we got Tania Gaither. I think she's more of a 200-meter athlete, if I'm not mistaken, for the Bahamas, 1116. And then we got Man Chi Gi of China, because the Q's are pronounced like a CH. So that's 1117. So that was pretty good. And then I think it was you, Timothy the Inventor, that pointed out that the Southeast Asian athletes like Japan, China, and then South Korea, they usually got fast starts. Guy got out on Shelly Ann Fraser-Price and barely held on to that time qualifier, because she did not qualify by automatic, but she got out on Shelly Ann. Shelly Ann looked like she was taking a safer start, but at the same time, it was very interesting. She got out. Kind of reminds me of Kambunji. They said 4 rounds is brutal. Yeah, I'm starting to read some of the comments. Edward Mamanyi. Are you from Kenya, by the way? I'm just trying to judge by the name, but I could be wrong. You said that Daryl Nita is your sprint crush. Let me go over to the next round here. Then we got Elaine Thompson here. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough time because I didn't take screenshots of all of them. But We got Elaine Thompson here right here, 11:15 qualified, just handled her business. She literally was just like, I'm gonna barely do whatever. And I think before looking at the semis, I called this earlier. I was like, I think Elaine and Shelly Ann might be in the same heat or in the same semifinal, just because of how slow she ran and how fast Shelly Ann. But it was gonna depend on everybody else. I'm gonna see in a second if that was the case. Then we got Nigeria's. Oh yeah, I forgot. Wakoka. Oh my goodness. Timmy's about to come in here and roast me for that one. I should know how to pronounce this. As many Nigerians I speak to on a very regular basis, dealing with business and otherwise, I should know how to pronounce this last name. But it's and especially Regina George, I should know that. But yeah, I can't remember how to do it. So grace for Nigeria. Wakoka made it through 11:16. Then we got Dosso of Italy making it through as well, 11:26. They handled their business. Edward said, yeah, I'm Kenyan, LOL. I moved to the States when I was a little kid, though. Okay, so I am pretty good with these names then. I am pretty good. They said Elaine and Shelly are in different semis. Yeah, that's what I was about to check. Wait a minute. Somebody said turning your head doesn't do anything. Where is the 9-6 I was promised? Afro Buddy said. We'll get to that in a second. So we got Marie Jose Talu. That's one of the athletes like Shelly Ann Fraser Price, Elaine Thompson Hero. I just say all Sharika Jackson. Some athletes you just say their full out names. Sometimes we say the last name, but that's one of the athletes that you just say their full names. She came through. She was conserving this time around, unlike at Tokyo. But the first round, she conserved too. So we'll see in the semi. Then TT Terry, she was looking all springy. She had some waist beads on. So she was doing a aesthetic thing, just like the other athletes from Jamaica, particularly. They show it in their wigs. So everybody got their own style out here. So that's good. Seeing everybody's style. Kimber Nelson, I don't think she's going to make the final. She's going to have to race her behind off. Before even looking at the semis, she has a very interesting style of running, especially mid-race. Mid-race, I think at some point, I might have to put this up on another platform because I'm not going on Instagram to do it. But I will do it either on a Patreon or Vimeo or something like that, another platform, because I know they're gonna try to copyright strike the channel. But Kimber Nelson, middle of her race, she looks like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get into that one, the T Babies thing. Kimber Nelson looks like she's fighting or boxing or something. Like, do anybody else see that same thing? Like, she's literally boxing. I'm like, okay, who is she boxing? Like, everybody else is right there. You box in the air or something. But sometimes she looks like she's straining like that when she's trying to run. But that's just her running style. So I'm gonna just let that speak for itself. I'm gonna let that one speak for itself. But Kimber Nelson sometimes be looking like she be boxing, and I don't know who she's boxing against, because we did have some fist flying earlier. Okay, we had some. I don't know why things are scanning here. We had some fist flying earlier, but yeah. Let me get over to the next one. Heat number 5. We got Dina Asher Smith. Okay, so Dina came over. Oh, wait a minute. Before I get to that, you addressed it, Timothy the Inventor. Look, the T Babies. The T Babies are very, very interesting for a name. I was like, if that's what she called her fans, I'm not a fan. I'm not no T Baby. Matter of fact, I'm not a fan of anybody. I have favorites or whatever, or people that I might be fake and unfake biased to, but I'm not a fan of any person in general. So, but if that's a fan name, call me X'd out. I'm not about to be a T Baby. Now I think that was something to do with a daycare or something like that. But she was like, yeah, the T babies are in the stands, and I was like, hopefully that's her daycare business thing that she wanted to open up or whatever, and not her fans. Because if that's a fan name, nah. I ain't about to be no. I'm not about to be a fan. You can miss me with that one. You can miss me whole out with that one. But yeah, so just put Kimber Nelson on the screen. That's gonna be for the future, just so I can have that screenshot. But Dina Asher Smith, 1084. Edward, you said you a T baby Goo Goo Gaga. Okay, dude, you can go ahead and be a T baby by yourself. Y'all saying Dina looked good. They said her fans are hoping for her to run a 10 4s and 21 3s. I was like, nah. But yeah, so 1084. This is only 1/100th of a second off for personal best. Now you could take this one of two ways. You could take this like a Fred Curley, where he clearly just, that was the best he was gonna do. Or you could take this on the other side. This is the way I was looking at it. She looked a little bit strained, but not too much. I think Dina Asher Smith, and I'm about to lose some money because I bet some big money on this. So I'm about to have some counter bets overnight so I can break even. That's how I'm just going to do it. I don't like losing money. I don't even like losing $1. So I'm going to just break even now. But Dina Asher Smith has really just, the way it's looking now, she sacked us. She really sacked us because she came over here and kind of played us kind of like Shanae Miller-Weibo did last year. Remember she went in that 200 and then she just jogged it? She was like, yeah, I think I'm about to do this. She really wants to do the 200, but she recognized she wasn't necessarily going to do it. Then she made it seem like she wasn't running the 400 at all. So I think if she won the gold or something like that in the 200 and she felt like she could have done something, she wasn't going to do that 400. Because the way she was injured and she was crying after that race for that, she wasn't going to do it. But I think that Dina Asher Smith got us fooled. She is definitely a championship runner. Because normally I don't count Dina Asher Smith off. But she was looking so bad, she's pulling an Andre DeGrasse on normal years. This year, Andre DeGrasse is in a different territory. But she was pulling Andre DeGrasse, sometimes Usain Bolt, because you know some of his seasons, it was kind of questionable. Because during the year, either he was hurt, and he was undertrained, and whatnot. So particularly, I think 2015. Yeah, this is crazy. Julian Alfred. Just wait for Julian Alfred to go pro. She's going to do some crazy stuff. Now, is Julian Alfred's uniform, why she look, wait a minute, let me read this one. They said that don't bet on Dina. Dina is like the South African guy in the men's final. She always makes finals, but will never medal, won't come last. Somewhere in the middle. Super bad arrow to be female sprinter with the Jamaicans. Gary Golding, but Dina Asher Smith already got a, what is it? A bronze or a silver from the last World Championships. So I don't know. I'm not gonna count her out. And this is in the 100. So I'm not gonna count her out. You're talking about Simbine. I can't count out Dina Asher Smith because I did count her out, matter of fact. That's why I bet against her. I could lose $15,000 on it. So I think I'm going to try to bet even and hedge my bets. So no matter what happens, I just break even. I just kind of want to exit this bet, but I have to do the opposite now. So anyway, but Julian Alfred, why was she wearing that black uniform looking like she came straight out of prison? Like, why did they have her? I didn't get the screenshot on it, but they made her look like she's coming straight out of prison. And then we got Seni of why they got the wrong flag for the country. I know she's representing, I know she's representing Nigeria, but Seni is one of the DSD athletes, and they really need their own category. It's nothing that's their fault that they were born how they were born, which is DSD, which is like a gender dysmorphia, where you're in between genders. I guess not to be confused with intersex especially, but they need their own category. They need their own category. And they should not be being able, or Niger. What the heck, I said Nigeria. My mistake. So that was the correct one. That's my fault right there. They had the right flag. It's not that. But yeah, so I really am not. I'm not liking this at all. I'm not liking that World Athletics has not made a solid ruling, because it doesn't make any sense. They just want to cast the Semenya out and then be like, okay, let's get this out real quick. And then they just opened up a new problem. Instead of banning across all, they just said, okay, let's just switch it here because we're struggling. We ain't got enough money to deal with all the lawsuits. So we're just going to kind of do the ones that we can deal with. So then we got Ahore, which I was surprised. They don't have her married name here. Interesting. That she's still competing. And that was nice to see her. So she made it through to the next round. They said this misconception needs to stop. No, that was my mistake. I knew that Sani is not from Nigeria. I know that for sure. I know that Sani is not from Nigeria. They said you can't just take them away from their countries if they're DSD. Okay, I got you. But yeah, here we go. Aaliyah Hobbs, 1104. People were saying that she didn't look as good. I'm like, nah, she was just overstriding and just taking it easy. Michelle Lee IE, as always, making it through to another round. And then we got Eddie Young representing Bahrain. I think, is that not former Nigerian athlete? And then nothing to talk about there. Then we got Kambunji. She kind of went to heaven or whatever when she winded up making it out of this one. It's like all the lighting just went freaking crazy right here. I don't know what was going on. Kambunji just made it through and it was like, all right, I'm going to heaven right now. So, hey, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe the stars align and she'll win the women's 100. She makes it through, and then just like indoor in the 60, she comes through and surprise everybody. Oh yeah, I did point out the gap teeth. Hey, look. The gap teeth, man. Look, the people that know me, I officially roast them all the time. So, yeah. Then we got Kambunji with the win, Melissa Jefferson making it through, and then we got Swoboda making it through. Now, I'm gonna ask y'all here: do y'all think that Swoboda is gonna make the final? Do y'all think that Iga Swoboda of Poland is gonna make the final? I'm gonna let y'all catch up. Y'all 5 seconds behind me. Do y'all think that Swoboda is going to make the final? If you don't think that she's going to make the final, put a thumbs up emoji and then click a like on the video. If you don't think she's going to make the final, put a thumbs up emoji and then click the like on the video. But if you do think she's going to make the final, put a thumbs down and click a like on the video. At this point, I'm going to go over to the next ones. Here, let's go. That's the men's 100. We don't need to really cover the semis. That's the long jump final. We got the shot put final. Then we got the 1500s and everything. I'm gonna fly through these next ones, and then we got the 100-meter final. While y'all getting there, they said swole booty ain't gonna make it. Edward said, "Dang, that's funny as heck." All right, thank y'all. Y'all saying. Y'all saying no, she ain't gonna make the final. They said, I think Majinga got a trick up her sleeve. All right. Hey, bro, I like the video, but you asking for too much technical stuff. Edward said, hey, look, it is what it is. Hey, look, the men's, y'all, they said long jump was tight. If none of y'all watch the field events, go, I really implore y'all to go here. Just like yesterday when I brought up the shot put, today's shot put and long jump were on point. They was on fire. This men's long jump, it came down to it, and it was toward the end that made it even more exciting. But it was still exciting all throughout here. This long jump came through, and China got it. Did I not say that China? I told you I'm going to stand by it until I'm proven wrong. I said China with their focus. Their goal is to dominate in everything. They're going to Africa, and this is what their own president said. They have gone to Africa. They are, when they give out those loans, I know this seems like politics, but usually all the nations, they're represented as politics with sports. So they said they've given out these loans, and then they're exporting Chinese culture, as in music, their art, and everything. So you're seeing that in different parts of Africa, all over the place. China's being accepted in different places and discriminating against the locals, which is very weird. Y'all need to start standing up for yourselves. But they're exporting their culture. They want to win the medal count too. They want to win the medal count as well. So don't remember what I said last year. I said it's going to take 1 or 2 Olympics, and China is probably going to come overall. Let me take this freaking whatever this weird thing is here with these bots. But yeah, this overall right here, China is eyeing getting the overall medal count at the Olympics. Remember, they're always leading the United States, leading to track and field. And track and field is almost always the reason that the USA has the most medal counts at the Olympics. Because USA is usually behind China, maybe one other nation, usually China, leading up to track and field. Last year, I think, was an exception. China was actually leading while track and field was going on because we defeated ourselves. But just remember this. China is up there. But this was a surprise jump. So, he got a season best. Jianong Wang, 8.36 as the world champion. Tangalu for Greece. The dude was so upset he didn't congratulate the competitors or whatever, at least up front. You saw it on his face. This is the one medal he doesn't have. He had indoor, he got the Olympics. He's got all the other things there. World leader marks, best athlete of the season, all of that stuff. He does not have the outdoor world championship title, and he was pissed. So 8:32 in second. Then we got Hammer, which was a former decathlete. His best is, I think, 8:45. I thought he could have surprised here on that final jump, but this came down to that final jump, and Wong just boom did it. He was in 6th place. He went from 6th to 1st. This is like the equivalent of somebody hawking another person down in a 400 or a 4x4, as we just saw, no pun intended, yesterday in the mixed 4x4 or any other race. It's just, you get that. The long jump was just on point. The long jump was on point. So let me go over to the next event. Let's be real. Olympics means way more than world champs. Hey, Gary Golden. It really don't matter. World champs is being built up. That's the whole thing. Look, we can say things all the time. We can say this thing means this. Right now, if you put the energy into it, just like, for example, I'll give you a thing like this. Did you know that BET meant more than MTV did? Because a lot of times black people, I'm going to say this comment and then move on. Sometimes when black people are doing things, because most of us are black here, this is why I'm making this comment, we kind of be like, yeah, it ain't that big if black people are the only ones. But everybody else takes their cultural cues from what black people are doing. The executives from MTV were looking at BET, and then they put their hundreds of millions of dollars of backing behind things. They copied stuff off of BET when they were coming up. Fox News built their whole platform as a fledgling news company and everything off of black people. So everybody builds themselves up off of that. So there you go. So I look at it the same way with track and field. World championships is good enough. They actually pay their athletes, and if you keep focusing on it, that's what I'm trying to say here. If you keep focusing on it, it's going to be the same thing. You don't have to be concerned with the Olympics. Focus on world championships, and then that thing will explode, just like the World Cup for soccer. So Chase Ely is now the surprise and somewhat surprise world champion. I know they were kind of hyping her up, but okay, Afro Buddy. Okay. But yeah, congratulations to Chase Ely. It's a good gold medal for the USA after actually a somewhat disappointing mixed 4x4. relay. I think that's a generally agreed upon thing. Most people are kind of disappointed, whether they're from the U.S. or other nations. Kind of disappointed in that. But yeah, Chase Ely, congratulations for winning the women's shot put there. They said, feel like the production of this year's World Champs is a bit of a downgrade from Doha in 19. Afro Buddy, I don't think this looks like a collegiate meet. But if it does look like collegiate meet, maybe it'll get views because the college meet is yeah, maybe a college meet is actually getting views and whatnot. So then we got Gong, which is a 4-time champion in this. This would have been Gong's 5th time winning the shot put. So I just got a shout out to her, just like I did what's his name in the men's hammer throw. Oh no, 2-time world champion. Oh, interesting. So 2-time. So I got that one a little bit mixed up. That would have been the 3rd time. But that is still pretty good for Gong. So this time she got a silver. Then we got Shoulder from the Netherlands. National record. Congratulations to her with a 19.77. But the winning mark was 20.49 meters. Congratulations to Chase Ely. Then I'm going to quickly go through these with the 1500s because this was just the first round. Oh, I forgot to go through the 100 women's semifinal. But then we got McSewin, or I'm pronouncing his name wrong. All right. Stewart from Australia. Charles, Ingebrigtsen, Whiteman, Garcia, Gregoric, Santiago, Oliver Hoare. Then we got Tadesse. Interesting first name, just like Tadesse from Eritrea. Tefera from Ethiopia. Andrew Timothy Chariot. Gonna be very interesting to see what he does. Then we got Kamari Taki. Grethen Neil Fontaz Michael Cameron of Canada. That's your final qualifier. I'm not gonna really I know it's McSwain, but I just couldn't get it right there because I'm going through this really quick. The commentary on the ones that have the prelims, unless they're big, unless something really big happened, I'm just gonna list off the people and then move on. That's what I did with that. I know the 100 is more of a thing here. So we got people that's going in and out. They're like, man, I don't even care about distance. Oh well. They said men's 1500 should be good. I'm going to go over it a little bit more when we got that. They said, okay, thanks, I understand now. And it's a way to stay motivated as a champion. To stay motivated if it is something you have not won before. Man, just a personal bias, but I'm not excited as other people are about Chase Ely. As some, not from the U.S. though, Timothy the Inventor said. Brendan Jackson said, like, you really want just one major global championship every 4 years? Oh yeah, Brendan, exactly. I don't know what the people are when they just like, yeah, the Olympics is good. I'm like, come on now, let's get this right now. Sebastian Coe was coming at the Major League Baseball saying that we got the real world champions here. I was like, dang. He said they call it the World Series, but it's only the U.S. and whoever that's within that league, but not really world. So we got the women's 1500. Sergey looks pretty decent in this 1500. Laura Muir did her thing. I don't think she's going to medal. Not after what I saw with these other athletes. Now, if she gets her tactics right, then sure. Even with what she's dealing with, like a strain or an injury or something like that, sick. Sergey right here looked too powerful and in control. Jessica Hull for Australia made it through. Hailu of Ethiopia looked questionable, actually. Questionable. She was getting on the back of Sergey, getting on the back of everybody else, tripping people up. She was just all over the place. Just getting all over the place. Now, very interesting that Jessica Hull's teammate did not make it. But it is what it is. That happens sometimes. Unless I go through and then they changed it. Because when I looked, initially it wasn't. But then we got Corey Ann McGee. Lisa Blackman said, I like distance races. Okay, yeah. Then we got Winnie Chebet for Kenya. Faith Kipyegon, she did what she needed to do. She was just like, hey, I'm going to come here. I'm going to do my thing. Faith Kipyegon conserving her energy so that she can blow the bricks off of people in the final. Now, here's the thing. I think the favorites are Sergey, Kipyegon, and Mashesha. Now, Laura Muir might be able to get in with the medal if it becomes a tactical race. I don't know if she's going to handle a very fast race and whatnot, but she may be able to handle one. We're going to see. Now, Mashesha has been looking phenomenal this entire season in the mile, the 1500, coming out and blazing up everybody. They said, Timothy the Inventor said, I like distance races, but there are too many 1500s today. They said, fun fact, Sinclair Johnson is black, LMAO. Edward said. All right. Marta Perez for Spain made it through. Sinclair Johnson for the United States. So there's a U.S. athlete that made it through. Lyndon Hall did not make it. I was actually very surprised that she faded so hard, so fast at the end of the race. That was a very big surprise. Georgia Griffith actually made it through instead for Australia. Then Sofia Anayo of Poland made it through. Let me make sure they don't have any extra add-ins because of what happened. St. Pierre was somewhat a surprise that she didn't make it through. I actually got to be honest there. It was a different makeup than what I thought it would have been. Now we're on to the men's 100. Now we got the trolls back in here. We got the trolls. Let me take you out. They said Sergey might beat Kipyegon. Nah, a 2-year cycle is much better. Yeah, I like a 2-year cycle. Every other year. That gives you a chance to... every year is a bit too much in my opinion, especially how the sport is. But every other year seems to be good. They said Mashesha is going to burn the feathers off of Laura Muir. But I think all three of them going to burn her up. But I think Muir might get fourth yet again. But yeah, might get fourth yet again. Here's the men's 100. Here's the men's 100. Watch there be 300 people coming in for the men's 100. Yeah. See, that's what I find real strange. People just come in. I think they come in and go out, and then when they click it and say, well, I'm on a sprint, then they just stay. But here we go. Hey, I'm not here to police what people like. You like what you like. You like what you like. And remember, I've said that to me, track and field has not been entertaining. And I'm running this channel in a way that I personally feel like it's entertaining to me. So I'm going to go back to the 100-meter women in just a second. Because I forgot to go to the semifinal. So I will do that prediction, Lisa Roberts. There's a lot of things that I'm not doing just yet that y'all not even seeing the final form of what I'll do with the channel. This is just early on. But anyway, Fred Curley came through and he proved it. Remember I said yesterday, because I wasn't going to do a stream after the semis, because it's in that same thing. Everybody's actually watching those. And if you weren't watching that, then like if you just only cared about the 100, then you would have popped up to the stream, understandably. But look, Fred Curley, I said if he runs a slower time in the semifinals, then I'm still at an 80% chance that he wins. And he won just barely. This is one of those things where the same type of winning, y'all would have said it was a fluke for Jacobs to win last year. Because this was so close. It could anything changed up, this could have been a totally different result. Just one move different, and it would have been a different result. There were semis today for the men's 100. It was semis earlier today, and then they had 2 hours to rest, and then they came back in to run the final. That's how they do that. Now, Fred Curley, 9.86. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say this. Y'all were right. He was not. That was about the speed he was going. Time proved you guys right. For everybody that said he went way too fast with that 9.79. Now, this was very interesting because I think I said if it was a 9.8 race, that would actually favor other athletes. Christian Coleman just couldn't pull it through. Now, this is something Coleman should have been able to do. He should have been able to run a 9.8 high, but he fell apart. He was in the lead. He was straining himself. He was trying hard. He did not look confident before it happened. And this kind of looks... Now, I'm going to say this looks very interesting. I'm going to go on Coleman for a second. Now, remember, didn't he sit down with Otto Bolton or something like that? And they had the whole thing with the return. I was all excited about it. But that's what you kind of need. This is what you kind of need. Now you can kind of get roasted a little bit. You kind of got to get roasted. Now. Because you had a whole thing about a return last year. See, you had a whole thing last year, or leading up to it this year, about, hey, the return. I looked at everything last year. He was all calm, laughing about it and everything. Like, yeah, I didn't see anybody that's going to worry me. Great. That's what we need. We need the trash talkers. Because if he just said, like, hey, I'm going to just take it a day at a time, that's just kind of boring. I got to be honest. That's what makes track boring. If you don't get people to come up and hype themselves up, get some media around them, talk about their superstars and put them on superstar status and everything like that, then it's a little bit different. You know, it doesn't come from anywhere. All right, I just turned on the air conditioning. You guys are going to hear it in the background. I normally don't want to do that like I did last night because of the quality. But once I move into a different location from this Airbnb that I'm in right now, then it'll be different because it gets blazing hot real quick here. Talk about that Houston, Texas heat. But anyway, yeah. So when you're coming up talking about, hey, I'm going to beat everybody else, you kind of got to follow through with that and at least get a medal. The mans did not get a medal. And the times for him, the way he was talking, weren't fast for him. I think going sub 10 is still phenomenally fast. I'm not going to say that this ain't a fast race. Like I personally don't care what the times are. If they ran 11 to 11.6, still entertaining. I get entertainment for that. And then Timothy the Inventor, I think you said earlier, Aaron Brown proved me wrong. Yes, he did. He made it through to the final. I was actually surprised that he made it through to the final. Afro Buddy, you said, where is my 9.6 with a whole bunch of question marks? I was also promised a world record. Man, look, those are people that hyped it up. Now he's rubbing it in y'all face. They say, I miss Bolt and the Big Five, Afro Buddy said. But that's some stuff that, you know, people like to hype things up. See, I don't try to hype up world records coming into this thing. I don't see anybody that's out there that look like they at anywhere near Usain Bolt's place. Like, yeah, sure, you could go from 9.7s all the way down to a 9.5 something. Yeah, sure, you could do that because that's how improvements and marks are made and everything like that. But I don't see anybody looking like that. Sometimes you can see it ahead of time. That's why I wasn't expecting a world record. Now, an American record, I still didn't see that. I don't see Curly with the form to handle an American record. Y'all know how fast going sub 9.7 is? The way his form is, he's improved drastically from last year. Drastically. I think I'm going to do a video, although it's not on this channel. It's just for the men. It's not going to be a whole bunch of people looking at that, which is unfortunate because I cover a lot of good information on those videos where I get like 100 views because I covered Christian Coleman or Fred Curley or something like that. And then people tell me I don't cover the U.S. And some of y'all that watch every one of my videos, y'all know what I'm saying. If it's the men, particularly U.S., they ain't gonna watch it. But I'm still gonna do that video because I want to be able to get that one out there. I'm gonna compare his form looking straight at the screen, straight forward, not from the side. The side is too easy. Everybody looks at that. People don't look at the other parts of the form. And this is the difference between some people looking at the more technical sides. Now, Lisa Roberts said, "Where's my world record?" Stop it. While she's laughing, I know, right? Uh, the Frank Wise said, "I said yesterday, Coleman did a lot of talking last year before actually putting in the work. He underperformed. His time at USA's would have got him silver." I know, right? That's the thing. It's just he kind of choked right here. Bromell might get American record. Sometimes he lacks focus. I could see Bromell maybe doing it, but I don't trust him not at a championship final. Let me put it that way. I don't see somebody doing it there. One-off race, they could probably do it. They could probably do it. They said Curly is getting better, and that's scary. Daryl Richardson said the American record will probably be broken at a random Diamond League meet. Ron said Zurich or Lausanne. Yeah, that's what I see. I see it like that, but not at a championship. I don't see the athletes doing multiple rounds and doing it. Usain Bolt had strength. Now, I did say this and call it and say that if anybody was going to break it, I thought the USA was going to get fifth. It was going to be 1, 2, 3, and then fifth. Instead, it's 1, 2, 3, 6. But Oblique Seville, I called it. I didn't see him getting the medal. He would have had the haulers behind there. Matter of fact, what's the wind? Oh, it's a negative 0.1 headwind. Now, really said Brown came in last. Yes, Aaron Brown came in last. It is what it is. They didn't have a win. They did not have any type of win. If we got a good win, we probably would have saw a good time. But this is about their natural time. So when people are saying, hey, look, the time if it was 0 win, this is about a 0 win you could get. This is what you see, a 9.86. This is where they're at on a very fast track. Now, I think Tokyo's faster than this one, but on the second fastest track on the planet, I think I could safely say that. With the one in Jamaica probably being the third or fourth fastest track, and then the one in Europe that they just built, which is the same one that they built in Jamaica, I think that one is up there for the third because it's newer than the Jamaican track. So when you're looking at this, Fred Curley got there. I'm happy with Bracy. He didn't flop because Bracy is sometimes inconsistent. Let me get to some of the comments you guys said earlier. Y'all said y'all were happy that Bracy got it. I saw a lot of y'all saying that. I'll feel the same way. Bracy got a freaking medal. I gotta say I'm proud of him. Curly, he surprised. He surprised me on this one. Let me put him on the screen. Let me put him on the screen. He came through. As soon he went up there, man, he showed out. He said, "I know that the 100 is a prime time event, so I'm gonna show out." He came up there. They went and they didn't even handle the medal like they did the other athletes. They put it straight on the neck. That woman came over there and was just like, "All right, here you go," and just put it straight on his neck. They had this thing rehearsed out. They said, "I'm gonna do it." She did it in one swell swoop. Didn't take no practice. Didn't glitch up. It was like, all right, we know what we gonna do. Probably practice all night and all week just to put that medal around somebody's neck. And they was like, okay, he's probably gonna be about this tall on her toes and everything. Came up there and went zoop right there. Then he turned around and took this picture. He knew that he came in with confidence. He proved all us haters wrong. I'm not gonna say I'm a hater. I just doubted him because hating comes from to hate on somebody, that's overused. Hate on somebody comes with no type of real analysis, whether that's on somebody's business, their personal life, whatever it is. It comes unfounded. You just kind of don't like the person. Like, I don't care for Jakob Ingebrigtsen. So I'm not going to say things on him because that would be hating. He does his performances. I don't really care for him. I don't care for Sifan Hassan. I'm not going to say anything on her because that would be hating because I don't have any. She performs and she shows out and she does her thing with the exception of today, but she normally shows out and she gets medal and she wins. So I'm not going to be a hater. With him, I had some reservations that came from, factual history. But yeah. Lisa Blackman said, I was happy for Bracy. I told you yesterday Fred was ready. The Francois said the medal thing is so stupid. Hey, if it works, and remember, this is to appeal to a U.S. audience. So U.S. likes certain things. We like performances and all of those things. Remember, when track and field was even bigger, and it was one of the main top two sports, or top three sports in the 80s, and kind of faded in the 90s. I mean, didn't Maurice Green come out there? If he ran fast, it would have made more sense. But didn't he come out there with the fire extinguisher and put it on the track? Like, things like that are kind of like gimmicky, but they work. They're gimmicky, but they work. So, I think that was pretty cool. Myself, personally, I didn't mind it. But Bracy, congratulations to you. Congratulations to Fred Curley. Got to hand it to you. You actually came through and pulled the win. Jacobs didn't run the semifinal. He just said, nah, he's not feeling well. That was the best thing. I think it probably would have... I think it was good that he ran the prelims. Because if he didn't show up like some people were saying, they would have said he was scared. And then they would have started saying, resurfacing that unfounded drug use thing, that he's trying to dodge people and all of that. And I'm just like, man, I'm kind of sick of those types of things just going out in the air. Okay, he did his thing. Okay, cool. So, yeah, people want to see a show. Exactly. Yep. MK 327. So, Trayvon Bromell. Here he is right here. Trayvon Bromell. He was crying because the amount of stuff he went through to get this medal. After not having a medal. He finally got a medal since 2015 when he tied bronze with Andre DeGrasse. Remember, that was the last time he did something. He got injured in Rio. He was running with an injury, like many athletes do. That's what I keep telling y'all. When y'all go on that caping super cape for Elaine Thompson Hero, you don't know who else out there is running with injuries. Bromell is just one among many of those athletes that they have an injury and they still gonna run. Why? Because it might be the Olympics. Why? Because it might be the World Championships, and those sponsors are expecting certain things. I mean, you get runners that run with glass in their feet. You had the U.S. I forget his name. I think it was in London. He was running with a broken leg, like his leg broke either during the race or and whatnot. He still completed the entire 4x4. His entire leg, and they say he won bronze World Indoors 2016. So yeah, it's very, very interesting that he came back from all of that, and they came here and finally got a medal after all of that. I'm really happy for him. I mean, last year he kind of didn't show up. It was just kind of random. He didn't say he was hurt. Like, he did nothing. He ignored it like it was nothing. That's crazy. You said putting fake medals on people's neck at the finish line. Be serious, please, or something like that. The Francois said. They said medals are stupid. Okay, wait a minute. What, y'all arguing or something? Trevor Woodley said medals are stupid, ? You one of the snowflakes who wants everyone to get a participation trophy, ? He said they're not fake. Okay, look, let me say this thing real quick on this. Let me turn this air conditioner off now. I only turned it on for my pet rabbit, because after it gets to a certain amount of heat, she could faint and have a heart attack, and we ain't trying to hide that. So anyway, now I don't know what y'all talking about, fake medals, but anyway, let's talk about the medal thing. I think this is a cool addition. They did not do this at the previous World Championships. They didn't do it at the Olympics and everything. I think what you want to do is, remember, people are going to watch these sound bites. Y'all out here, what are we on? Hour and 24 minutes. Okay, and I'm about to end this one shortly. I'm definitely not going to midnight. Bruh, it's not really that serious. They put a medal around the people's neck, and then they see it for TV. Who's watching the medal ceremony? Imagine you are a casual person that only watches the championship. Think about the NBA Finals. There's so many people that don't watch the entire season. Some of them don't even watch the championship series that's leading up to it. Same thing with the NFL. They gonna watch the final match. So what do you want to do for your final match? You want to put on a show. You want to be super entertaining. You want to show them everything in like a second. That's what you want to do. People got an attention span, and you want to sell them. I understand that with my channel, but I still, because track and field is so many events, I try to cover all of them, including yesterday I covered the race walk. Unlike what I did last year, I really didn't respect it for what it was. So that's all we're doing here. But yeah, I think that's an actual cool addition. I didn't care for the mascot. I thought that mascot was kind of pointless, but I understand why they have one. I really do understand why they have one though. They said I am happy for Jorge. She's still kicking it. I know, right? Let me go over to the women's semifinal. Since this is the last thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna do my predictions for tomorrow. Women's 100 meter. Here we go. Let's go over to day 3. Let me see. Is it going to be the same time tomorrow? Oh, actually, it's a little bit early. I think it's because it's Sunday. Oh, no, it's the same exact time. So we're going to be back here tomorrow, same time. Whew. Okay, let's go over to the semifinal. Let's see these heats right quick. The Frank Watt, he said, I don't give a damn if the medals are real or fake. Save that for the medal ceremony or put it at the finish line. One or the other. Just an opinion. The Frank Watt said. I think it's kind of cool. At least Cole is trying whatever he faults at World Athletics. Edward said Cole is an idiot. Man, come on now. When Sebastian Coe took over, I gotta say, they put on a light show. Before Sebastian Coe, and some of y'all looking a bit too traditionalist here. Before Sebastian Coe, when did they put on a light show at any of these world championships? None. When did they even record videos that were easy to find about track and field on the internet? None. YouTube had been in existence already. Yet, I can barely find anything from the world championships of 2011, Berlin 2009. I can't find Paris 2003 or any of those things before that. It's very, very difficult to do it. After Sebastian Coe took over, sure, the 2013 World Championships, you could barely find things about that except on people's individual channels like the other ones. Especially, they didn't have full events. But if he fully took over, you started seeing it in 2015. Then 2017 was the light show effect. Then we had the World Relays. 2019 even better. And then we don't have the light show like we did with Doha. But to each their own. Everybody's trying something different to see what works. They said Cole tricked Kenya about 2025 World Championships. Oh, a light show. Cole does nothing to actually support these athletes. All right, man. I'm not about to just criticize to criticize. I've seen what they did before, and I've seen what they did after. Can they improve? Yeah, but it is way better than what it was before. And the money that they put into the athletes, sure. Here we go. Here's the previews now. We got 3 heats. What are the qualifying marks? It says the first 2 plus the next 2 fastest times qualify for the final. All right, we got a Jorge, Kimber Nelson, Dina Asher-Smith, T.T. Terry, Julian Alfred, Sharika Jackson. Oh my goodness, Seni. And then we got Wakocha of Nigeria. Man, I'm gonna have to get that one in. Gosh dang it. I should, just like I know how to pronounce Chineke, I should know how to pronounce this. But anyway, so Sharika Jackson, well, she's definitely making it through, so that's check 1. The question is Dina Asher-Smith gonna have to race her behind off, or this is gonna have to be a race because this one's stacked loaded, or it could be like the men where the people that you expect to be up there are kind of up there dominating, and they do. Man, I saw you break it down earlier. I won't be able to read it like that because it's the difference between in and n or whatever and whatnot. I'm already aware of that, so I'm not even gonna read that. But thank you. So this is gonna be hard. Give me a second to think on this one. Sharika Jackson's got this one. It's definitely going to have to be in a 10-8. But the question is, Nelson, she's going to have to race her life off. Jorge's not going to make it. TT Terry might have to qualify on time. The question here is Dina Asher-Smith. That's the one. That's the biggest question. This is the hardest one to imagine because Dina Asher-Smith opened right here with the 1084. Question. Was that the best that she could do? My opinion, that's close to the top where she is. She normally rocks real, like a certain way that she rocks her body when she's at the max ability of where she is. She was rocking a tiny bit here, which means she got more in the tank. She's got more in the tank. So, this is going to be real hard. I think Dina Asher-Smith and Sharika Jackson is going to be close with Terry. Kimber Nelson, I don't think she's got a chance of qualifying automatically. Even with Dina Asher-Smith, let's say she flops to take her out. Between TT Terry and Kimber Nelson, I think TT Terry's going to take that one. Unless she just goes to sleep and starts smoking or something. But I can count Nelson out. That's why I say it's easy to count the people that aren't going to do it. Julian Alfred, that's the dark horse right here. If Julian Alfred just basically runs this like this is a final, I think she can make it out. This will be like Subi Tang last year. This will be like Subi Tang, like boom, I'm finna knock somebody that's expected out because I just hit a PR. I just did all of this, set the Chinese record. Julian Alfred's got a race. Because if she produces what I know she can produce, Kimber Nelson can't keep up with her. Dina Asher-Smith's going to have to actually run even harder. And then TT Terry's going to have to run lights out in order to do it. So Julian Alfred got what it takes in order to make it through. So it's going to be Jackson, Asher-Smith, and I'm going to do a coin flip between Alfred and TT Terry, and Nelson is out. I'm going to call Nelson out. They said Nelson might be out. It's going to be Sharika and Dina. Heat 1 is okay. I want to see Elaine's heat. I think that TT Terry is going to take the second auto qualifier. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if she gets it over Dina Asher-Smith because I just don't know what she's about to bring. But no, not to worry because Dina Asher-Smith, her best event is the 200. So this is, if she doesn't even make it through, I know she wants to win. She medaled the last World Championships. So for her being competitive, she knows that she can do stuff. And the funny thing is, she said she's trying to peak for European and Commonwealth games. So whatever time she runs here, if she's running a 1084 and this is the fastest she can go, then dang, what is she about to run later on? Because she ain't even peaking right here. That's what she said herself. She's focusing on the long season. Y'all are talking about the prison shorty. Yeah. So Julian Alfred, please come with a different uniform tomorrow. She had all black. I mean, may as well have been an orange jumpsuit at this point. Because she looked like she was breaking out of prison. I'm like, why they got her in all black? Or going to a funeral, one of the two. Maybe she just put everybody else to, buried everybody else with the speed. But yeah, so I'm going to call it Sharika Jackson's the easy one. I'm going to say Dina Asher-Smith. And for the rest of them, and if Julian Alfred is the dark horse, only because it depends on, does she bring running lights out, or does she try to hold back and mess herself up? I think she should just run lights out until about 80 meters in and look around 70. I don't think she can afford to look around about 60. But start to look around at 70, and then if she thinks she can ease up, only if she's got a clear lead on them. But otherwise, if it's close, keep on putting on the pressure, because somebody could do a late charge and take you out. It happens all the time. But all the action are in the center lanes. So I'll be surprised if Ahore makes it through. Sani ain't making it through, and then Nigeria ain't making it through either. Let's go over to Heat 2. Let me look at this. We got Ediong, or why did I say Eddie? Odion. Then we got G, Kambunji, Jefferson, Marie Jose, Talu, Elaine Thompson, Hira, Swoboda, and Strawn. This is gonna be. You got me rolling with this prison stuff, LMAO. The Frequat said, "Hey, look, I'm gonna have to take a screenshot of that. I'm telling y'all. I looked at her. I'm like, dang. And the way she was looking so serious. That's why I'm like, dang. She went straight out female prison. But they said, please, Sharika, dip, please. Oh yeah, that's the thing. If Sharika don't dip, the way she gonna hold back, most likely, and the way everybody else is gonna run, she might not dip, and this will be one of those things where we'll look at her and then be like, Sharika, what the MF did you just do? What did you just freaking do? Dip. Like, because she has a problem of dipping, even in the finals of things. She has a problem of dipping. So, yes, that's a good way to point out. Let's put that energy in the air while it's still her birthday. I got 9 minutes left. Cutting the stream off at midnight. This one's a lot. This ain't as tight. And it's not as many, I guess, big names, quote unquote, as the first heat. The first heat got a lot of people that are big names. Melissa Jefferson is an unknown quantity because of what she did at NCAAs. It's real interesting that, like, collegiate athletes that don't do anything at NCAAs come through sometimes. They've done it in the past. Even for other countries. They don't do anything at NCAAs. They represent another country. Then they come and get a medal at the Olympics or a medal at the World Championships. It's very interesting. Melissa Jefferson. I don't know what to expect with her. I'm going to just let y'all know this right now. I don't know where to put her at. So I'm going to ignore her. I'm going to say Thompson Hero takes this. She's going to do bare minimum like she did the before. Kambunji is very good at qualifying through, but it's going to depend on Talu. Since Talu and Thompson Hero are in the race, Talu might do her strained face thing, and if she runs with a strained face, I think that's going to have her whole body strained, and she might not make it with the automatic qualifier. She might make it on time, but something's telling me Talu, if she don't bring her A game and just run relaxed like when she was looking around with that 1078. Y'all said Lamont, Marcel, Nestorico. Come on now. Come on. Don't do that. Don't do the man like that. Let me read y'all comments on this one. If Alfred runs it like it's a final, then she's auto-qualifying. It's solid heat. Elaine and Melissa going 1-2 in this heat. Old habits die hard for Sharika. LOL. She's not used to being a 100 runner. Melissa not making it. Elaine should get this heat easy, but after her 11:15, I don't know. She was holding back. You could tell. It was obvious. She's doing a bare minimum. You have murderation heat and a cruise heat. Y'all funny. These heats are just oddly set up and lined or laned up. Yeah. Elaine and Talu, Majinga time, maybe. So I'm going to just do this. I know Elaine's probably going to just win automatically on this one. I'll be surprised if she doesn't. Talu depends on where she's at, but I think that she's right next to Elaine, which she should be able to key off of, and that should be good enough. But Elaine might be holding back for the rest of the field. That's the question. So Talu should just run her own race and be cognizant of Elaine being there. So Boda ain't making it. Strawn is not making it. Jefferson may or may not make it. May or may not make it. She's too inconsistent. USA's, she won and did well, but at the collegiates, she got like 5th or something. 5th or 7th. Kambunji, she knows how to make finals. but I don't see her in that top spot. Now, let's look at the final one. People are counting out Melissa Jefferson. She was holding back in that. Yeah. So let me see. Doso Gaither, Nada, Shelly Ann. Oh, well. This one looks easy depending on how Hobbs is. This goes Shelly Ann Fraser Price, Hobbs. I'm going to just call it there. Aaliyah Hobbs, second. Shelly Ann Fraser Price. She's probably just going to trounce everybody else. And then everybody else just got to look around to see, okay, am I second? And the time qualifiers might actually come out of this one because Shelly Ann, if she ran that 1087 in the prelims, she's probably going to run another quick time here, which is going to force a quick time out of everybody else. They're not going to be able, Hobbs is probably not going to be able to hold back as much. But this is the weakest. Man, are they trying to set this one up? Now I got to say it. This the tinfoil hat here. Did they just set Shelly Ann Fraser Price up for a cakewalk of a, kind of like what we saw at the Olympics last year? Are they setting her up to win? Or is it because I think it's really this is what I really gotta, on a serious note, think. I think it's because of how people are running their times. Because if you run certain times, you get matched up a certain way. But if you win your heat, you also get matched up a different way. Now, they said Nita looks to make her second global final. I think she made PB. Shelly Ann and Aaliyah. This is the slow heat. Yeah, I think they set this one up for Shelly Ann Fraser Price. Like, the first one is just a monster heat, and it kind of don't make sense here. You could have taken out one person. Like, they put Dina Asher Smith, defending champion, with Sharika Jackson and TT Terry. All of these athletes, if you look at their times, even on paper, for their season best now, they got this is the quickest cumulative heat right here. And then Elaine, they put that one easier. So I see the order. Whoever's in heat 1, because I think they did the men like that too. Heat 1 is the harder one. Heat 2 gets softer, and then heat 3 is the easiest one. And that seems to be what USATF is doing. They said all powerful Trike in Oregon. Oh yeah, especially when Elaine kind of decided to switch over sponsors, which I guess the rumors were true last year. It just took a year to solidify. But yeah, this is easy. That's what I got to say on this one. They said IE could be a dark horse. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point, because she does know how to make finals sometimes when she's healthy. But I don't. She could be a dark horse, but because of other athletes in the field, she actually got the pedigree for it already. Thank you for pointing that one out. That's actually a good one. Nike said, no Puma winners on my track, LOL, Kai Love said. But yeah, thank y'all for coming out. Like I said, it's 2 minutes before midnight. I said I'm not going to last past midnight. So I followed through. Thank y'all for coming out. I appreciate it. On the way out, don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Share on your... They said, why did she switch over to Nike? No, she switched over to Puma. She switched over to Puma from Trike because last year, leading up to Prefontaine, they did a total and utter blackout of the Jamaican athletes. They were covering other ones. And they were saying, oh, it's a bias of that. I was like, no, because, Eliud Kipchoge gets covered by Nike and stuff on their Twitter pages and in their media and stuff. So it was like they promoted Richardson so hard that I don't know why they didn't just promote Richardson and then say Richardson versus the Jamaican athletes in the Olympic champion. Like, it should be USA's best. And this thing happened. That would have been a perfect narrative. But instead, they just put this is basically the best athlete. I got cheated out of the Olympics, and we're going to buy the Olympic final right here. And then took a huge L right there. That's what wound up happening. So, yeah. But peace out, y'all. There we go, 11:59. Like I said, you've been watching Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes' performances and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. I'll catch you